Welcome to SFH Presents One More Podcast.
Welcome to SFH Presents One More Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Polk, here with my co-host, Ty Southern. Take motherfucking number 2. We don't have a guest today. We just decided that once a month, maybe once every 6 weeks or so, we're just going to do us because we want to talk about some shit, get shit off our chest, and whatever. Like maybe we'll start doing these live. That'd be kind of fun and have people like chirping at us while we're doing it.
That'd be sweet. I'd be down.
I had a couple of things in my mind, and one in particular. I'm going to do it out of order because I'm going to tell you this thing that was an epiphany that I had, followed by me complaining about things that were pre-epiphany. I don't know. Whatever.
That contradict the epiphany is what is the bill of goods I was sold. I'm strapped in and I'm ready.
So basically, I watch YouTube all the time. Whatever I'm doing, it's on in the background. If I'm editing, it's on in the background. Typically like podcasts, stuff like that. I've got a bunch of people as far as the political realm that I follow who I trust, who are pretty centered. So I listen to some left, some right, but mostly centered people. And but I try to keep up. And I think that first off, let me throw out that part of the disclaimer. Add that in. I think it's important to be informed. I think it's important. It's not for everyone. If you're a person who just wants to live your life completely free of the political spectrum and the things going on in our world, I don't fault that. But if you're not going to educate yourself, shut the fuck up. Don't not educate yourself, not learn shit, not pay attention to what's going on, and then come on with some opinions on Facebook or on TikTok.
The loudest people that I'm aware of know nothing about anything.
Right. They're completely uneducated on the things they speak on because we're in this world where we live in these echo chambers where we're like, well, they should not do this or they should do that or whatever the fuck thing you think. And then when someone presses you on it, you curl up in a ball and go hide and take your ball and go home type shit. When in reality, the only reason you're doing that is because you haven't ever been pressed and you don't actually have the knowledge to back up your stance. So that was not my epiphany. That's a separate thought. But I just wanted to throw that out beforehand because I think it's important to educate yourself. Now, having said that, it's also really easy to get wrapped up in that being the constant narrative in your life where all you're doing is taking in all this negative information about the world, about either party, about what's going on here and the fear tactics and all the things going on. It's really easy to get caught up in that being your entire the entire background music to your life. And that is not healthy.
No.
Right. So
anything that is solely negative, political, otherwise, if you're only surrounding yourself with negativity, that's only a bad thing. Like there's not going to be a good section of that.
I wouldn't call all political discussion innately negative.
No, it all just a lot of it gets dragged down to that level very quickly, though. Right. It's hard to have any conversation without it diluting into.
Well, you just start thinking about it, and then when you go out, you see it. Like you're prepped with this thought process of like whether it's during the whole thing of like all the shit with the deportations, and then you see a couple of Mexican people, and now your brain goes to that. Versus that they're just people. Like you don't need to you don't need to be on guard all the time thinking about that shit. Like take some space just to live your life and live in the fucking space that you live in. We don't have to worry about the world's problems from the moment you wake up till the time you go to bed.
My 3-foot world. I control right here.
Right.
This is what I've got a good beat on. And I tell you, half the time I don't have a great beat on it.
Right. So the epiphany aspect of it came in. You know how algorithms work in socials and YouTube and all this shit. Like the more of something you watch, the more that it shows up in your feed. And I've got like the majority of my feed is like comedy podcasts, comedians, stuff like that. There's definitely shit with dirt track racing, which I love. There's definitely hockey videos. Like there are definitely things that are positive and aren't in that realm. But the majority of them are something along the political spectrum, something along deep podcasts with people talking about serious issues and things like that. And again, I don't want that to go away, but
yeah,
I happened on a video of a girl who is now an adult and decided to go find her birth parents. She was adopted, and it was just a really feel good, like a lot of crying, a lot of fucking hugging, and hey, I don't hold any bad feelings towards you, but like I just want to know you. And then of course more of that stuff popped up, and I had also months ago, and it had kind of disappeared from my algorithm, but made its way back in. Watched this guy who does this YouTube channel called Sitting with Dogs. And I love it. He goes into like the pound or whatever you would call that, like a place where they take dogs that,
animal shelter.
An animal shelter. There you go. That's probably the more updated.
Yeah, the
updated version.
pound. The
The
doghouse
pound,
is just
like,
where the husbands go when they're in trouble. But yeah, animal
so
shelter.
so he goes in and he sits down. He always picks a dog that's like having problems. Clearly, this dog has either been aggressive or they're just definitely in fear, like of the situation that they're in. They don't know what's happening. They're cowered in a corner, and he sits with them. He turns his back to him. He just talks for a while so they get used to him. And then he starts with the snacks and treats and things. And then slowly but surely he works them out of this fear to where they'll be in his lap, or they're like finally like showing some confidence and standing up straight, and their ears are up and their tails are wagging. And it just
dog shit.
It feels so fucking good to watch, dude.
Yeah.
And
anyone being healed right in front of you is pretty spectacular.
Yes. So, I watched one of those because it popped back up in my feed and I hadn't in a while. So now my feed is like every other one's about dogs or people finding their family or like these things. I kind of started watching it.
Yeah. I like the hopeful shit. Mine ends up being a lot of music, cooking, and just funny nonsense with a smattering of political stuff.
Right.
Because I try to support the people I support. So I'm liking and commenting on some people's stuff. And yeah, that's a good way to hurry up and get it more of that on your algorithms.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That day I hopped in the car, and you know me well enough to know this is not a normal thing. I hopped in my car. It was kind of hot out. My air conditioner's there's no Freon. I have it in the back of my car. I just haven't put it in the engine because I'm lazy as fuck. I hop in the car. I drive up the street to like get McDonald's or something. And I just had this like smile feeling for no reason. And that's not very, very often that I get that.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it was directly because of the videos, but I'm saying that I don't want to stop seeing the political shit. I don't think you should stop educating yourself and staying up on things. But I think after I watch a couple of those, I need to click on a dog video or two.
A palate cleanse.
Right.
So follow the dude who does the sitting down with the dogs or whatever you just said it was called. Yep. And yeah, even if it doesn't pop up in your shit, like go like I've had a little too much. Like I'm gonna go to this page. Josh Weathers is one for me. Every once in a while, I'll just go to Josh Weathers' page. He's a very talented singer who I think more people should know the name of, but he cranks about videos of him doing 90s classics and putting his own little twists on them, or some of them he's impersonating the person who sang it, and it's so good. He's a very talented dude. But so that ends up being one of my palate cleanses that I'll intentionally do. I won't wait until the algorithm, because sometimes, man, you're on a tangent and it's freaking every other freaking scroll is someone who's calling someone wrong about everything.
Yeah.
Or this is why you're an idiot. And I'm just like, oh yeah, how long? I mean, we learned that about negativity being thrown at you constantly. You're going to only catch negative things. Like,
yeah. And that's the headspace you'll be in. And especially when you're a person like me who I've never been diagnosed, but probably has major depressive disorder or whatever that disorder is. Or just even if you're just I don't want to say a negative person, but you live in a sad headspace or whatever it is, like we're not going to detach from phones. I'm not going to tell you to lay your phone down because people just aren't. It's too connected. Your whatever your services on TV and shit, or everything that you have is too connected to what you do. And I get that, but do yourself a favor, go out of your way to find some feel good shit that you know, maybe you don't really care about dogs, and I'm not saying that like you're a
Yeah,
shitty person. I mean, maybe you're just indifferent.
babies laughing videos, or the AI
Whatever.
where they make very famous grown-ups into babies, like, or freaking panda videos, like, yeah, whatever gets the heart muscle, whatever gets your Grinch on, whatever
Yeah,
gets the three sizes too big situation going, do that. Every once in
even
a while, give yourself a cat. I call it cashing happy checks,
yeah.
because you're just,
Cash a happy check.
yeah,
Write
you're doing
yourself a
yourself a
happy check.
favor. Yeah, you're doing
Write
yourself a
yourself
damn
a happy
favor.
check first, and then cash your happy check. But
Yeah.
but even I use comedy a lot too, and comedy works pretty well for me. But you got to be careful because a lot of comedians are also political, or they're into like they're what's the word I'm looking for? Where they fuck they pay attention to what's going on in the world, and that's how they make jokes. And there's a name for
Oh
that
yeah,
that's super simple, and I can't think of the word.
yeah,
Uh,
I'm tracking.
Whatever the case, the point is that
Yeah.
just be aware of that. If comedy's your thing, like find a comedian that's a little more lighthearted. Find somebody that swims in a space of just silliness and like
Pete Holmes is a wonderful
yeah,
example of this. He does
there's
not
tons.
take being an adult male too seriously, and it's funny as heck.
Yeah, there's tons, and his comedy
Yeah,
is
there's a bunch, but
fantastic.
he's a good one. Yeah,
Uh,
he's fantastic at his job.
Dude, when I was in Delaware, I guess, or maybe it was when I was in Orlando, but there was like a good year where I was just kind of having a rough year mentally and emotionally. And Norm Macdonald, just fucking watching Norm, and I'd even watch the same videos sometimes. Just rest in peace, brother. Like
Yeah,
he doesn't. Everything he says is just stupid and lighthearted. There's no
yeah.
seriousness to it.
You got
There's
Chris D'Elia is another one that gets me, and he's very well written. Basically, it's not
yes,
so much simple like Norm's was, but he's a great writer.
he's
He
hilarious.
writes a mean joke.
Well, if you've never watched
Um,
the podcast, it's fucking brilliant. It's hilarious. It's just him, and
I was gonna say I haven't.
he's got repetitive things that he does throughout each episode that kind of become hilarious because it's like his brand. But
Nice.
he's funny. He
Because
is,
I've seen clips on
yeah.
TikTok and stuff, but I've never watched an episode.
Well, that takes me to a whole other point. Just makes me think of another point we could talk about that has been irritating me lately. Is that everyone in life, every single person, every person who's fucking these audio waves are going out of whatever they're going out of into your fucking ear holes has fucked up in life, has made
Yeah,
mistakes. And what is it about
as a rule.
celebrities, athletes, anyone else that are held to such a standard that even if they fuck up and they do what they need to do to like reconcile what they did and take some time to improve and maybe even go to courses or classes or do whatever, yet there's still
Robert Downey Jr.
but there's some of these people, they won't let it go.
Oh
Like,
yeah, no, yeah. There's hell, even with RDJ. I would say Robert Downey Jr. is one of the ones who did that. Obviously he's famously did that. He wouldn't have anywhere near the career if he let drugs win. He'd have been in a couple of movies, as a kid, basically. But he's freaking Iron Man. Like he ends up being one of the more famous superheroes we've had.
He's a perfect example of it. Just because somebody has success or money doesn't mean that they don't deserve a second or third chance, just like you want from people when you fucked up.
Because they have money or come from money or whatever it is, means that like they should get less chances, or they shouldn't end up in a similar issue that I'm in. And I'm like, what does that do for you to be like, this guy has too much money to be sad? And I'm like, you're an idiot. Like,
it's crazy.
Most of my issues would be solved if bills were no longer something I had to worry about. Like, that's a big stressor in my life.
You would likely replace them with other issues.
Exactly. Something would happen or whatever. And yeah, you'd have your shit to worry about still.
I've been around people with money, and I don't envy the mentality that they live. And partially because many of them didn't go through what I've been through. So while you could say, man, my life would have been a lot better if I would have had money growing up, if my parents would have had, made $1 million a year and my life would have been nice. it's just irrelevant because it just replaces it with other shit. I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't go through that shit.
Yeah. I like me so much now. But yeah, that literally comes down to the same line as I wish I didn't step on a bomb. I wish I didn't look like this. I wish I had feet.
Yeah.
Like that's the same shit where you're just
they are useful.
It's
They're
always they have utility, those footsies, they do. But what am I doing but wasting time and freaking putting shadows on my heart only if I'm sitting there worrying about what it would be like if I had feetsies. Like, yeah, I'd step on Legos. Like, you know that time when I don't run around barefooted or whatever it was, but when you get a little slit in the crease of underneath your toe.
Yeah.
And it takes a while to heal, and you hit it just right every once in a while, or a blade of grass will catch it. Yeah. I never have to deal with any of that bullshit anymore.
Stubbing your toe sucks, man.
Stepping on a Lego is a whole bag of dicks. Y'all can keep it. Like,
all I'm saying is, if you asked me within 30 seconds of me stubbing my toe if I would take an amputation, I would take an amputation.
Oh, dude,
right in that moment. Yeah. I might regret it later, but
oh man, when something gets schwacked, like in that stub toe fashion, I still get them. Like I hit things and it sucks. And like that feeling of just your whole body's done for a few seconds. You just got to like marinate in it for a second. Like just like, I don't got words right now. The whole system is shutting down and rebooting. Take a sec. It's fun. Shh. And this happens with nerve pain from time to time. And I can't articulate what's happening. So that's a fun one. Whenever we're chilling, we're sitting. Yeah. We're all chilling. I might even have been telling a grand tale of something, and then just and they're like, "Can I do anything? Can I do anything?" And I'm over here like, like, you know, malfunction, and like just until it lets go of my foot or whatever the hell's happening. I'm like, sorry, that was a nerve spike. Like I have to take him back all Mr. Rogersy about it. I'm like, I gotta brush off that and just sorry. Whoever had my voodoo doll was feeling froggy.
but back to your point, and I want to just reinforce that. It's like it's at some point, look, I have had my issues with wealth. I have my problems with the idea of wealth in general. I think that people are fucking so greedy to the point that it's hurting other people. That's a problem. And it is a reality. But on an individual basis, like if you're just hating everyone that's successful, you're trapping yourself in a fucking mental prison. You're throwing away the key to your own happiness because it fucking doesn't matter, man. It's the same as you losing your legs. You can't change that fact. So what positive thing or what could possibly come of you dwelling on that fact?
That'd be like living in the forest and hating leaves, letting the fact that leaves exist make you angry. And so you go outside every day and you see these leaves and get off them trees. You live for the fall. But then
you're just mad they're on the ground.
That's just what you're doing. Yeah, they're on the ground now. Ugh, what are you just doing on my ground? Like successful people are going to exist whether you like it or not. Like, and again, most successful people aren't the problem.
No,
there's the handful of people that are doing some crazy shit.
Well, and if you were the one that put the work in and got lucky enough to be one of those successful people, like, would you stop? No, you would have fucking followed through just like they did. Like,
and you probably wouldn't care that there's someone sitting in their mother's basement mad at you about the fact that you worked hard, even if you got your hand ups or whatever. But like, I went to college, I did the classes, I did this and that. Yeah, I didn't pay for it because of X, Y, and Z maybe, but I'm using that leg up and going. Like, I'm not gonna disrespect that leg up because you didn't have that leg up.
Yeah.
Like, would you rather us end up in the same exact and I had a damn leg up? Like, no, if anything, I should be a step or two ahead of you. Like, that's how it's supposed to work. And people who have legs up, they shouldn't feel terrible that they did. Like, again, use it. There's so many people who wish they had someone who could open a door for them or leave a side hatch open, a window, whatever, and let them start off with a little extra. Any video game, you want to buy the expansion pack so you have cool armor and swords and shit at the beginning.
It brings up two things that makes me think of. One, a lot of people are miserable because they chose to give up on their dream. A lot of these people who are successful, there was a thing, and I'm going to apply this to the podcast. There was a thing I watched, and it was like, this guy is like a fucking business guru type dude, but he's modern. He's a new dude, and he's fucking fantastic. But he talks about how every time somebody starts a business, you're going across this line of like, here, I'm starting a business. When you start it, there's always a dip. There's always a dip in that it doesn't ever turn out exactly how you think it's gonna. And most people get to the bottom of that valley and they quit. And then on the other side of that valley, it comes back up, and that's where you find success. And I've thought that about this podcast in the times whenever I had any negative feelings about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so those people stuck through the dip. You quit at the dip and you went and got a job you hate, and you fucking got in debt for a bunch of shit you don't need, and now you're miserable and you're trapped. So you're going to hate on somebody else for not? It's like the hate that I got when I decided to pursue music and say, this is the life I want. And there were times it was great, and there were times it wasn't great. And now at the end, I don't have a whole lot to show for it except the experiences that I had. But my point is, I think there's something about people swimming in the negativity because they're miserable in their own shit. And it's not doing anything good for you. It doesn't do anything for you. This all popped in my head because two different things. One, you brought up D'Elia. When D'Elia was playing in St. Louis, he like blasted some Facebook ads. Was a video of him going, "Hey, St. Louis, I'm coming to St. Louis, blah 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 blah," all that shit. And I click on the comments, and it's all just a bunch of scummy people talking about what a piece of shit he is for something that happened a long time ago that he learned from, that changed him.
They tried to cancel his ass.
He got canceled, dude. He got dropped by his management. Somebody spent $3 million to take him out of a movie and put someone else in it. And
I didn't know any of that. That's crazy.
He was.
I know he came back and he's working.
Yeah, and he talks about it all the time. He's like, and if you saw his latest stand-up special, he really addressed it through tears. I mean, clearly the dude understands first of all, I don't think he fucked up nearly as bad as people want to pretend that he did, because he was lied to. He was lied to by somebody, and then when the person tried to accuse him, they left out that part, and he showed that part. But yet, in that world, especially when Twitter was not owned by Elon Musk, it is guilty until proven innocent.
Yep. Which is, God, that's a modern thing that needs to, that's a thing from all time. It's just louder now because of the internet. But I mean, Salem witch trials, obviously, it's been happening since the dawn of time. We need to just really get on the whole, don't burn anyone at the stake until you've seen all of the evidence.
And even then,
that is so exhausting. God.
What's so funny is that it's such a political thing that these fucking people, and unfortunately today, mostly people on the left, think that they'll go out in the street and riot and think that that's not anything bad, and then they'll do it to fight for people who have murdered, raped, done whatever for some reason. Yet if a comedian happened to talk to a girl who was a year underage or whatever. Like another example, the other thing was the Blues just traded for a defenseman, Dylan Mailloux, or is that his name? I think that's his name. I know his name's Mailloux, but I don't know if I got the first name right.
Okay.
Doesn't sound Logan Mailloux. There we go. That's correct. Logan Mailloux. So they traded for Logan Mailloux. It was a little bit controversial because we traded a good player that we like that's young for another young player who isn't proven. Super exciting in my opinion. But he had been in some trouble around his draft year when he was 17 years old. He had sex with a girl and without her knowledge filmed her head. You couldn't see anything else, but like, I guess I'm assuming she was, blowing him. Right. And, he showed it to his teammates. Somebody told on him. He got in trouble. The NHL got involved. His draft people got involved. Okay. I don't have any problem with that. Like I do
think shit. I mean,
it was a shitty thing to do.
That's slime ball shit for sure. Yeah.
Right.
If they send it to you, you protect it.
Right. So, he went into he had to go to meetings with the NHL on a regular basis. He had people helping him through the whole thing. He learned from it. He came out and he said when they first asked him, when he first got traded, there was an interview and they were like, let's talk about that thing. Do you want to put it in the past? And he goes, no, I don't want to put it in the past. I want to think about it all the time and remember how I fucked up. I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's respect.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't need y'all to forget about it. I need y'all to see and understand that I know it was messed up and I've grown. Like, and please, like, and that he's not like, I was 17. What were you doing at 17? Like, he's not even pulling that. But that's a logical ass thing.
You could.
I was a child who was given money and put on a damn hockey team. Hockey, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Famous athlete at 17. Like, I would say people want to give Bieber so much crap. I'm like, he had millions of dollars when he was like 15.
Yeah, like if most people that you and I have ever met in our lives came into millions of dollars who had never had it, they would be a fucking nightmare, dude. They would, like give it to a 15-year-old and tell me they're not gonna it's not gonna go off the rails a few times.
Yeah, and then come to find out that he was just being used and abused the whole damn time, which is a whole nother issue and so sad.
So with Logan Mailloux, he gets traded to the Blues. Some of the I follow a few Blues groups on Facebook, and I also follow some NHL, like just overall the whole league groups. And people were debating on who got the better end of the trade. And I'm like, first of all, we're not going to know for 2 or 3 years. But
tried and tested is one thing. But I mean, if this one kid ain't tried and tested, then he might be the next.
Right,
Wayne Gretzky.
He could make it an incredible trade, or he could make it a loss. But it is what it is. It's what you do in pro sports. Anyway, half the people in this fucking post are like just drumming up the past and like getting rid of him because of his baggage and all this shit. And I'm like, you fucking cunts. Every single one of you has done shit as bad or worse and been forgiven, and no one's scrutinizing you. And you think that, look, I understand that if somebody's a pro athlete or someone's an actor or someone's a musician, they are held to a little bit of a higher standard, as our politicians should be. But all that being said, they're still just humans. They're still just bags of meat with a fucking half-working brain, dude.
To err is human.
Exactly.
That's literally it. Like, the what is it? Taxes, death, and we gonna fuck up. Those are the 3 things that are definite in this life.
And
like no one's gonna bat 1,000 at all times. Nuh-uh. Not everyone is Steve Irwin.
It just grosses me out. It's like, grow the fuck up, dude. Like, be reasonable and understand that people are human. And when people fuck up, there are certain shit that's really hard to reconcile, or like that if you do certain things, you murder someone.
Yeah, I was gonna say murder, anything with malice or hate in your heart, something that ruined someone's life, or trauma was involved, or they knew it and still did it, or whatever. He made a boo-boo. He did a dumb 17 fuckboy thing, which and again, pro athlete at 17. I guarantee you he was like at the very least 80% fuckboy at the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a fucking kid.
A child who, again, pro athlete. Like, dude. You can put it in your head. You can understand why he would get a little big-headed. I imagine
men's frontal lobes don't fully develop till they're 25.
I was gonna say,
21 for women, 25 for men.
I over here thought it was 28. So yeah. I know 25.
So again, like, it's not to excuse any action. It's not to say, oh well,
no.
One of the,
and he's owning the shit out of it too. I like
he's
that.
owning it, and that's what you want, and you give people the chance, and you let it go, and you move on. Like,
yeah.
And I can tell you now, if for some reason he pops into the league and he doesn't end up being what they think, and he falls short, he's going to be
because he was a fuckboy when he was 17. Yeah,
it's going to come up every time somebody can throw it in his face, and it's such a low life piece of shit human being thing to do, to treat people and look at people that way.
I do hate that a lot. I'm on
speaking of which, just a fucking perfect segue into the next thing. You saw the floods in Texas.
Yes.
Just absolutely Uh,
Are we still at 28 children right now?
there was 27 just in that one camp alone.
That's what I'm saying. But that are like confirmed gone.
Yeah.
They found two trees.
They're up to like 90 people or something like that last.
But so many children in the mix is
absolutely horrifying and horribly sad.
My heart goes out to everyone in Texas dealing with that shit right now.
Yeah, it's awful. But I couldn't hate the fact more that these fucking people are politicizing it already.
Oh, it's infuriating.
Right out the gate, you're using 90 people, including a bunch of children's death, to politicize something and drive the big orange man bad narrative that you want to drive.
No. My personal favorite. Well, because first off, it's somehow Trump's fault that it flooded in Texas, basically. But no, the people who are good, you voted for this. You voted red, so you deserve to drown and die. And people with a straight face, with joy in their heart, saying that kind of bullshit. And I'm over here like, you can't step outside yourself for a minute. Even if I was leaning, even if I was mostly left leaning, I would be so embarrassed of these people that are on my team. Like, because how dare you? People's lives in general, how dare you? When it's a natural disaster, it wasn't anything specific that could even be politicized.
They tried to claim,
but children.
Yeah.
A damn summer camp got washed away and children died in a very harrowing situation, terrified. Drowning and being burned alive have to be the worst two that I can think of off the top of my head. And then drowning separate from being whooshed away and trying to figure out which way's up until you can't anymore. I can't even imagine the terror that these 90 or so people died in.
Yeah.
And you're going to turn around and say it's because Texas likes the orange man and orange man bad.
If it would have been a blue state, it would have been a whole different story. But the point is that they were accusing,
not one single Republican would have ever said, you voted for Kamala, so you deserve this shit.
No. This is the new tactics of the new left, dude. And
fucking gross.
It's literally the party I identified with my entire life and couldn't be more embarrassed by and couldn't be further from at this point.
My own mother, she's sad to tell me she is still politically speaking a Democrat.
It's embarrassing. There are people who don't identify as a Republican, which is me, who no longer want to affiliate with the Democrats.
Yeah.
And so where do we land? You
got to go independent or or
libertarian or
make
Trump,
a fourth one or
new American Party, whatever.
Make a Polk party. Honestly, if we made a whole mixed team thing at this point, hell yeah. That's what he did with his thing. His whole cabinet is a mixed team.
Well, regardless, my whole point in all this is that they accuse him of which just, again, like the whole thing with Doge trying to cut waste from the government. And they're still doing that, even with the new big, beautiful bill and how they're dealing with Medicaid, which is going to go up 2% every year, but they're cutting out letting people stay on it who don't belong there, which for some reason is a negative to these people.
The people who want free healthcare are admitting that they have free healthcare right now because they can't work, 60 or 80 hours of something to earn it now?
Yeah.
It was free healthcare if you didn't have to work to earn it.
Dude, I think we should all get free healthcare, personally. I mean, I'm on that train, but we don't. So I don't
it would never fucking work.
Well, it's worked in almost every first world country in the world, but
we way too big, Chief.
Yeah.
I don't know the ins and outs of it enough, but I think our size is why. The stuff I do know, that I just feel like it's one of those things that it's awesome in theory when you think about it, but I don't believe it'll ever be able to work.
I don't have enough information to really debate it properly.
Yeah, and trust me.
And that's the stance that most people should take on everything that they fucking have.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry.
I don't have anywhere near enough information to have a proper opinion on this or to debate you in any way that would be meaningful. So I'm bowing out of this conversation. Adieu.
Here's where my stance on this lies without information. I simply think that if you were starting a country, if you were starting from scratch and you were like, hey, we're going to collect taxes, where are all these taxes going to go that's beneficial to the people of this country, that's the first place it would go. Because people are people's lives and health are held hostage if they can't afford it. And I don't see anything as more important than that. Now, could it work? Could it tear us apart? I don't know. That's where I'm like,
the only thing someone ever said to me that I understood was apparently if we were to do free, doctors would basically end up being slaves. Like they explained, gosh, oh damn it, I lost the entire thought. They explained the whole thing to me in a manner that helped me understand it, and I'm brain farting so hard right now, so I'm gonna freaking stop that shit. But
well, I could get where they're coming from, because I've had the argument from Canadian doctors that I used to play hockey with, that worked in the United States because there wasn't as much money there. But then the flip side to that is, a lot of doctors are making too much money. A lot of people in the pharmaceutical industry and the medical industry generally are making too fucking much money, and we're getting raked over the coals on a regular basis.
Yeah, so big pharma needs to be cut at the knees. And didn't he make a bill, propose a bill, sign a bill that's supposed to make medications the same price they are for everybody for us?
Something
so they
like
can't up price us so hard, because that needs to happen. Like whoever signs that into law, yay. Like we need that one, because paying, 800% more than another country for the same exact thing is bananas. That's insanity. But I know that you said in Canada, I know that waiting for anything,
I've heard that too,
a brain tumor, like something life-saving, is still a year and some change out, and you can't expedite it, apparently.
I think they're pretty quick.
That's terrifying.
I think they're pretty quick on shit that's life-threatening. But I think
I've heard a few stories, but
if you need to get an MRI on your knee or something like that, you'll wait a year.
2 years out.
Yeah, like it's going to take a long time. So I understand, and I don't know the solution. I don't know enough to really sit here and rant on it, but I just feel like if the country's going to collect taxes and they're going to offer that to making this country more livable and better for our citizens, that should be a priority. That's just
I think a blow to the whole thing that is bad would be something restructuring how insurance companies are, basically, like making insurance easier to get, making a simpler plan cover more, like, or cover better as opposed to more. Like, but because you pay all this money out of insurance, so all your bills are insurance, the car, the house, like, and some utilities, and then something goes wrong with those, I'm paying insurance on all of it, but it's only going to cover 30% of the remodel, redo, whatever. That kind of stuff is sickening and needs to be addressed specifically. And I don't know that is a political thing specifically. Like, they'd have to put laws into place or something that would make that change, right?
Well, the bottom line is that all of this is getting in the weeds about what is capitalism, what is socialism, what is communism, and those things get really convoluted and difficult, because while I see the point of capitalism being the most free, and while I see the point of capitalism creating the most innovation, that I agree with those things. But when you see that 90% of the world's wealth, or the country's wealth, is owned by 1% of people or something like that, it's an insane amount of the country's wealth is owned by a very small amount of people, and the bottom huge percent owns like 2%. Like that is simply unsustainable. It's because the numbers aren't trending towards it being more balanced. They're trending towards more wealth going to that top 1%. So that's just unsustainable logically. You have to think like how do we make up a new form of government that's mostly capitalism but somewhat something else? I don't know. Like I'm this is above my pay grade.
Well, because you couldn't put a cap on what someone could earn. Like, if you earn any more than this much a year, you have to disperse it to charities or whatever. And then, yeah, like if you make this much, we'll tax you to death. Like, and then we'll give it to everyone else anyways. Like all of it is very take and disperse. And that will never work. Like take from this person, give to all these people who need it. That system will ultimately never work. Like it sounds awesome at first.
Yeah, but trickle down economics doesn't work either, which is what we're doing now. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, and yeah, some definite shit needs to change along the way.
We can complain about all of them
in the system. Yeah,
right. We can complain about all of them, but neither one of us has any solutions, and neither do the people that are running the country. And that's
and some of that is more or less questions, like where I'm just like, what could do the biggest impact for the things that we are currently talking about? And I think that instead of universal healthcare, where just everyone can just go to the doctor and whatever, and then the doctors are literally the government says, so I have to. There's something to do with insurance, like something to make insurance more affordable, but also a better protectant would work better in my head than the concept of every doctor now has to treat anyone who asks, like, and be compensated, be damned.
Yeah.
Because I don't want that either, where they're just required to work or what? You get stripped of all your licenses and you can't be a doctor anymore. Like, what would be the consequences?
Yeah, it's good questions, man. I mean, again, it's like if people who have literally trained and worked in this field their entire lives can't seem to agree on solutions, I don't know how the fuck you and I are going to have anything.
Yeah. Well, because again, it all needs to never be, we need to win and you need to lose. We need to put our boot on your throat. Like, and that's what all of it has become. I'm over here like, hey, man, can't you just not hate me for not agreeing with you in entirety? Like, as a whole, I agree with almost everything you're screaming at me, for the record. Like, but the fact that I'm a monster because I'm not here doing that, or I don't agree with that part to a T, I'm a monster. Like, can we stop with that crap?
The funniest part about that, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and it's fucking really funny, is that these fucking lefties, the green hair fucking idiots that are in the street rioting, quote unquote, you know, not rioting or whatever the fuck they think they're doing.
Yeah.
As of now, all the people on the right, especially in the Midwest here, they all kind of just sitting back with their arms folded, drinking a beer. They're like, all right, you guys are crazy. But these crazy people in the street think they're like tough. They think they're like badass, dude. And like, if you ever you ever do something to piss off all the red people in the middle of the country, you're fucked.
Dude, I mean, the middle alone, but the whole South?
Oh, for sure.
Bro, like, that's the one that always gives me the most ha 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 ha, and would be like, yo, take a pause, take a deep breath, reevaluate everything you just said, is the people who get with, again, their whole ass chest. Civil War's coming. You better watch out. We're coming to take you this and do that. And bro, you're literally saying, or whatever you identify as. Sorry, bro, not bro. Whatever you identify as. You trying to tell me you just going to walk up to people with guns and say, gimme. And you think they're just going to go, oh, yeah, there go. Yeah, right. Like that. Like that. You're gonna like Trump before that happens.
You got
you'll love Trump before that happens.
you got to at some point just appreciate the fact that most of the people on the right are kind of just sitting back watching the crazy that's going on the left.
Just like a lot of watch you bury yourself.
Yes, exactly. At the end of the day, that's what it is. But my point is that if they really thought they wanted to push it to a civil war, it will take a week. You'll be all dead. Like,
I was gonna say, yeah, if we're going, yeah, you're gonna realize what more non-lethal shit. Like, if they just if they did that, if the whole right that was willing to fight got online and just got in a line, not online, just got online as military stuff, getting a big ass long line, and just load up with rubber bullets and non-lethal shit, and just sweep.
Yeah.
Like it'd all be done in a week's time, and everyone just be like, God, I don't want to get hit with those again. Maybe I'll stop being an asshole.
Dude, when it comes to like California and Portland, it's such a breakdown from the top. You know, the government officials are fucking terrible. The court
God,
system
so
is
terrible.
terrible. They cut the hands of the cops. They cut the hands. It's about to happen in New York, which is going to be a wild experiment.
Oh
And
my God, New York. Sorry.
yeah, it's about to get crazy up there because that dude's going to win and he's going to do a bunch of crazy shit. People are
he's
going
the
to
dude who's openly for Sharia law, right?
Kinda. I mean, you could sort of spin it that way, but he's just open for a lot of dumb shit that doesn't make any sense, that isn't well thought through. Either way,
yeah. I would
these
say,
places,
I don't
like
know, but
these kids that go out in the street and it always kills me because you have the line of cops and they're standing in front of them screaming at them, right? And then the cops will issue an order to back up. So they'll in a line start backing up, and these kids act like they're backing them down. I'm like, bitch, you're only protected by the fucking shitty judicial system of which you reside. Because number
literally
one,
their restraint is what's the only reason you're not hurting and crying right now.
right? So that's the impressive part, is their restraint. It's not you're not tough, you fucking bitch.
Well,
Which
yeah, and
black mask.
It's giving, as the kids say, it's giving the whole, yeah, you better keep walking. Like, no one thinks you're the hard ass in that situation, for the record. Like, when you see that in a movie, when the Jack Reacher, John Wick character, the Robert McCall in Equalizer, does the catch you later, walk away. The guy who's standing there doing the, that's right. No one's like, oh yeah, you just showed him. Like, no, he didn't kill you with a pencil,
bitch. Right?
Like,
he
didn't. Yeah, he didn't kill you with his pinky. You're an idiot. Like, yeah, when they listened to the command that they gave and backed up, you're not doing anything. No one's scared of you. They're tactically to the nines with shields. They're right.
Somebody said this in one of our TikTok conversations, and they were so spot on. We're just one mistake away from the shot heard around the world. We're just one step away from something popping off where a bunch of those kids get fucked up and slapped back to reality. And again,
the one round, it'll set off a whole powder keg of bullshit. Actually, I was more worried about that when a few years ago with Floyd and all that. That was when I definitely thought that was going to happen. I think there's more people who are on the side of maybe calm down, and maybe cops are on our side. Maybe there was just some shitty ones that got made very famous. Like, so let's urge police departments and whatnot to basically root out those people better. Like, not all cops. You're crazy. All cops?
Yeah, they're talking that
99% are awesome.
That fucking dipshit in New York wants to defund the police in New York. Like, good luck.
In New York City.
Good luck, bud.
Okay.
So anyway, all look, and I want to reinforce the fact, and this won't make it if we have any kind of clip, this won't make it in the clip, but I want to reinforce the fact that we both heavily support peaceful protesting.
100%. Literally fought and died. That's number one. You're allowed to do that.
Yep. And although that doesn't mean that Ty or I don't think that your cause is stupid as fuck. You might have some really dumb shit that you're in the street for. That doesn't mean that it's a viable thing that you deserve to get made go your way.
Yeah. So, and again, I'm not even calling anything current dumb when I say that. Like, just, you have every right to peaceably assemble and address the government and tell them your grievances. Like, it's in the first one, number one. Like, and again, fought and died for your right to do that. But I will not just agree with you for any reason either. Like, right. Yeah. If you're over here trying to, make Pastafarian the freaking religion of America and want us all to bow down to the giant spaghetti monster that gave you your fortune, go on, Do you go talk to the government about it? I'm good.
The funny part about it, and the reason I even said that was that also in that same post where we got some blowback on some shit, these people, if you don't agree with their cause and you say, hey, don't fucking blow shit up and be violent and you can protest, then they call you a bootlicker. I'm like, no, fuck the government, dude. I am with you on that, but I think what you're fighting for is dumb as fuck. I don't like your cause.
Yeah, America, the flag, are not the government.
Right.
And current fools, not the left, not every liberal, fools who are being very loud about the fact that they don't understand that. The fact that the American government is not the same as America or the flag. The flag is its people, damn it. The flag is me and you and Lance and Brian and 90 plus people who lost their lives in Texas. Like, you saying fuck America, fuck this, burning the flag, you are spitting in the face of people, not Donald Trump. You're spitting in my face.
I think the Constitution, the flag, and America are on one side, and the government is on the other side.
Yeah, and all of that is us.
Is America.
That's us. That's the people. That's what we told them they're going to have to do, and we should be better about telling them, making them do what they're supposed to do. Because the ants will absolutely take over the grasshoppers if they get it done. Yeah.
Doesn't this touch on a lot of points though that we've made in the past where what this is that if you say you're against I don't care for our government. I don't think they're doing a good job. I don't care for our politicians. So there are plenty of things I would march for. Plenty of things I would take to the streets with you. But if you don't take to the streets with them for everything, then you're the enemy. You're on the other side. You're a bootlicker. You're this, you're that. It's like, bitch, that's what I hate about modern politics is that you're either 100% with us to the word or you're against us. And that is crazy because the left especially has some fucking dumb ideas.
No King's Day, prime example. What a stupid ass thing. So many paid people. So many people were paid to be there. So proud of these numbers. And literally the point was, I bite my thumb at you, Orange Man. Like, the end. Like, you served no purpose at all, except showing us that a very small percentage of the people who voted for Kamala Harris decided they were going to walk the streets and say, we ain't got no kings. We haven't. We don't. No one's trying to be. No one has attempted to try to be. Like, 250 years just passed. We just celebrated 250 years of No King's Day.
Let me just put that out there. We're getting up on the hour mark, and I think it's really important that I make this statement to go along with that.
Go ahead.
If anybody's listening, if anyone's listening that pays people to protest, I'll fucking protest any cause for money. If you give me enough money, I'll go yell about some shit that I don't even agree with. I'm just letting you know.
I can be reached at.
Yeah, look me up on socials. Hit me up. If I'm gonna go yell about some shit that I don't even care about for money, I'm
hell yeah.
Because nobody cares. Nobody
cares.
Purple
because aliens don't wear hats.
It's true.
Hell
anyway,
yeah. Sorry.
It's a fun episode. I got to get a couple of things off my chest. It was really irritating. It's still irritating to me that people politicize death, and I can understand.
Shame on y'all.
If you, first of all, shit happens, especially when it comes to Mother Nature, dude. It doesn't always have to be the Jews and their weather machine. Doesn't always have to be some conspiracy theory. It can be that just weather fucked up and did something it's never done or it hasn't done in hundreds of years that we weren't expecting. The Caroline Leavitt, the speaker, was saying that everyone's accusing Trump of, with Doge and all this, cutting some of the weather, the organization, I can't think of the name, but that was the reason why this happened. They were underfunded and they didn't have enough people working for them. Well, they warned people of floods on July 3rd in the afternoon. Then they warned them again that night. Then the day of, they warned them, and I guess at 4 a.m. was like the big warning, which people were sleeping. So look, man, I've been in 1,000 probably. Well, yeah, probably 1,000 times in my life, flood warnings, and I've never fucking cared whatsoever. I read it and then I forget about it 1 second later.
It's like me with hurricanes. Yeah, I was about to say if it's a Cat 5, I might leave.
But what I'm saying is that with a flood warning, most of the time nothing happens. So if somebody's lived through their life seeing these flood warnings, but nothing happens, or the river rises,
probably didn't take it seriously.
They didn't take it seriously. Not only that, but you combine that with the fact that it happened that the big warning came at like 4 a.m. when everyone was asleep.
That's statistically when you're least prepared cognitively to do anything.
Right. And how do you know that, like they might not have heard the warning or seen the warning or had a device that allowed them to see the warning. So like it's tragic. It fucking sucks. But at the same time, sometimes Mother Nature, we're bitches compared to Mother Nature. I mean, honestly, there's so it's terrible and it happened. And I'm sure that people, if you're the person that lost your family member, you want to know why. And maybe it just was just a thing, like a tornado. Like a tornado takes out your family. It's unfortunate. It sucks. But doesn't mean that someone needs to be held accountable.
There's no one to blame in that situation, I don't feel. Or I think it'd be irresponsible to blame a person or a group for that.
You know, if first of all, here's how you handle it. You give a little time. You give a little time to the grief that the country is feeling and the people, especially people involved. And then if you want to like create some evidence to the fact that maybe there was foul play or someone neglected something, then let's talk about it.
Oh, yeah. If you show me some literal stuff where like the ground is looser because of these things that were taken away or something. Yeah. You show me something that shows someone at fault. I'll listen to you all day. But, just because you have hate in your heart that is fully justified because someone was just stolen from you. It's dangerous to aim it at specific people.
Well, it's never
when it was an act of God.
Right. It's never the family of the people that went through it that are bitching and saying that it was Donald Trump. It's a bunch of left-wing idiots that all they can think about. It has completely consumed their existence.
The sun came up and it looks oranger today.
Orange man bad. Let me set out every single day and every single event and every single thing. My entire worldview is through orange lenses. Embarrassing. Do yourself a favor.
You think about him way more than we do.
100%, dude.
I would say he lives in your head rent free. I hear from y'all about him more than I hear about him.
And dude, I'm the first to say, like, I've liked some things he's done. I haven't some others, and I don't really know how all this is going to work out. 4 years from now, I could go, man, that was the worst president that ever existed. Or I could go, he was great. I don't know now.
Everyone should hope that in 4 years, oh my God, best president ever. Like the next one too. It has nothing to do with Trump. Like the president and the government winning is only good for us. But they don't crushing it and handling business and being, big economy, big this, big that, anything that could happen. Yeah. Due to the fruits of their labors or lack thereof or whatever, like us winning is only good thing. Them winning equals us winning equals let's fucking go. Like,
yeah,
I hoped Biden was gonna crush it. I hoped every president who ever did it was gonna be the best president they could possibly be because 100%. I want America to fucking win.
100%. And the reality is that I've lived through a shit ton of presidents. And they all feel just about like Trump feels. Like there's some shit I'm like, I don't know about that, and some shit I'm like, yeah, that's pretty all right.
And at the same time,
work out.
Well, yeah, and who's had a job at all for 4 years that everyone would agree that they just crushed it all out of the park all day, every day, 110%, never failed, never fumbled. Hell yeah. I would say literally anyone in any job had a day or they shouldn't have pushed that project or whatever. Like, but you got to look at it as a whole. Like look at the victories. Rule number 32, enjoy the little things. Quit focusing on this negative crap.
Yeah, because again, like I said, it's not that different than any other president. There's shit that you like and don't like. Just fucking keep it. You just have to sort of accept that fact. But you're right. Like, no matter what Trump does, if he knocks it out of the park, if all the tariffs and all the shit he's done fucking kills, and at the end of 4 years, we're in a prosperous place we haven't been in before. No, there's so many people in this country who just won't accept that. They don't care. They're more their ideology and their argument and the fucking place where they've dug their heels is more important to them than the reality of this country.
And yeah, we've talked about it before. That's as gross as the other stuff. They're again, not every liberal, but there is the loudest group of y'all would rather watch my country burn to the fucking ground so they can say, see, I told you Orange Man couldn't do it. They could be holding the gas and the torch and still say, see, I told you Orange Man couldn't do it. I said he was the devil, and look how burnt everything is. And I was like, you're the arsonist. You set it on fire. They would love that shit rather than just to say, he did all right. I still hate his guts. You can hate his guts all you want, but Jesus Christ, try to get out of his way a little bit. Like, because if you only hate him just because you hate him, chill out. At this point, you're killing yourself. He doesn't hear you. He doesn't worry about you. He's just out there doing his job. You think his ego hears you? Like, no. Like, I'll be the first to ever. He's got an ego. Duh. He's famous for it. It's part of his personality and his trademark. Like, he doesn't hear you. If anything, he's going to keep doing him to watch y'all flounder and freak out. Like, like, just God bless. Calm down. You're going to burst the blood vessel. And again, it won't be on his radar.
Yeah. Well, Ty, I don't think I can outdo that one with anything. That's a pretty fantastic way to end the podcast.
I'm going to go with you on that too.
My only last advice is take a fucking breath. Watch a dog video. Stop
Deep
fucking
breath.
Swimming in this shit, man. It's not good for your mental health. It's not good for anyone.
Play a video game, listen to your favorite record, put on a fun movie. Yeah, find some panda videos or some penguin videos. Get some heartwarming shit going too.
Go fucking meet your neighbor too. Chill out.
Yeah, mental health, like the food pyramid. You can't just be doing this one thing all the time. It'll topple over. You gotta go do some other stuff. You gotta round out your thing.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right.
Let's go.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Like, share, subscribe, all that shit. Like, when I say that, I mean, you like the video. It's good for us. If you share the video with somebody through word of mouth, or you just click share on us on your socials, it does so much for us. It costs you nothing. Means the fucking world to us. Woo. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. And then you'll know whenever we put shit out. So we very much appreciate you guys, and we're glad you are still fucking here.